can talk about brewing the beer. That we're going to start working on brewing our own beer, making a beer for the podcast.
Oh, yes.
So we can talk about that on this one.
Do we want to talk about how we're going to do it, or do we want to talk about how we're going to do it and hash out ideas about it? Flesh out a plan, a recipe, just general high level, like not fucking like picking our grains and everything.
Yeah, we have to figure out what type of beer we want.
Cold.
We can do that. And what type of barrel we're going to need, because we're going to barrel age it for at least 3 to 6 months. 3 months.
Cool, not cold.
So let's find a Pappy Van Winkle barrel. We can start with that.
Oh, boy.
Well,
there's a little bit in it left, right?
Phil was... Well, I can talk about that thing Phil brought up, too, with the barrel. Well, when we talk about a barrel.
What did Phil bring up?
You can buy a barrel of whiskey that, like, from a company, and they'll bottle the whole barrel for you, and you get all the bottles.
Yeah.
So
Called a Starr Pick.
Yeah.
I just bought one from across the street the other day.
Yeah. So, and he was talking to me, he's like, if we can get enough people together, and... Like,
yeah, but I can get a barrel for $200.
Right,
Or
yeah,
we can spend $5,000.
I was just saying, a full
8,000.
barrel is like $5,000 or more.
Should be more than that, I think.
Yeah, depends how cheap and shitty.
I can throw in $1,000 for,
I got $10.
50
Yeah, I
bottles of
can't do that.
Jameson.
I got $10 on it.
I just bought the one beer, and I'm living on credit.
A Jameson barrel, and I'll take 50 bottles.
I found a single full of my wallet last night. It's my lucky dollar. Wait, don't turn the channel. You've tuned into High Gravity.
The show where we talk about beer, brewing, and whatever else.
Where the only thing we take seriously is the next round.
So grab a glass.
Fill it with something cold.
And enjoy the show.
That lucky dollar. It's lucky you found it.
Well, there's a girl at a party, and a friend of hers, a friend of their groups that came, didn't have any beer money. So I asked if he could bum a beer off of us. I'm like, yeah, sure. And he tried to give me money. I'm like, no. You're my flair. You're having fun. Have a goddamn beer. So we were pretty lit, and he still felt bad. So I'm like, no, give it to her. I don't want your money. So she stuffed it in her chest and came over to me, implying that I take it with my mouth. So
Usually
I did.
it works the opposite way. Usually
Yeah,
you stuff
yeah.
it.
No. I took it from there, and it's been my lucky dollar full at my wallet ever since.
I mean,
Now, it's brought me nothing but bad luck.
a titty dollar's a special dollar.
Oh, yeah.
know.
The first titty dollar.
Yeah, that dollar's a
Speaking of
titty
firsts,
sprinkles.
you were talking about this Raging Bitch being your first beer, or your first craft beer, was it?
Yeah, I mean, the first one that I can distinctly remember. I think I had tried. I think it's pronounced Pirate, but I remember hating
The rum? Pirate rum, that's good
No,
shit.
it was this little grenade bottle that had a pirate on it. I don't know why, but I think I bought it because it was 10% alcohol and I hated it. But I distinctly remember going up north for my family reunion. We go camping every year, and I was thinking, I was like, you know what? I want some good beer to take with me. I'm going to take a bunch of, I think at the time, Molson Canadian was what I was drinking.
Nice.
So a bunch of that, and then I saw this, and I saw the artwork on the box, and I knew immediately it was Ralph Steadman, and very familiar with his work. Was a big fan of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So, the whole Hunter S. Thompson thing. And so I was like, well, I got to buy this. Like, if it's Ralph's beer, I mean, he's got his quote on the box here. But the artwork, really appealed to me. I was like, man, it's so, visceral. Like, his work is grotesque and almost violent in a way. And
I like it.
I was like, yeah, I got to try it. Plus, it's 8.3%. So at the time, all I thought was more bang for my buck.
Your first was way more fun than mine. Mine was Penetrating Porter. It was 8%.
Penetrating porter.
Yep, from Coonan's.
They should do a barrel aged and call it
That might be good, actually.
Penetrating Porter 2. I don't know. I was gonna go somewhere with that, and then I'd lost train of thought looking at this bottle of beer and thinking, I'm thirsty. I should open this.
Yeah, do it by the mic. We got to get the
I'm
hits,
gonna.
man.
That's why I grabbed it. Oh.
There we go.
All right, I'm back. I heard that bottle open up. I'm here now.
That's for the floor now.
So,
Smells like an IPA.
so Flying Dog, Raging Bitch, IPA, 8.3%.
What else do we know about it?
I wanted to hear it pour, but
Doesn't have a very loud pour.
no.
Oh, give me a second.
0 out of 7. Bad beer.
Oh, it's gone. Sorry, Johnny.
We only
have a
have
lot
5
more.
more.
All right, let's see here.
Now, Oh, there we go.
Got to get that aeration, get a good head going on it.
Now, it did say optimal freshness on this was a couple months ago,
God, that
but
smells good.
it still smells pretty fresh to me.
Has kind of like a fruity smell to it.
I get sweet dough.
I feel like I remember it being a lot more bitter when I first had it, but
There's no way in hell that's an IPA.
it doesn't. It's definitely
There's
not
no
very
way.
bitter,
No.
which is, I mean, I don't like bitter.
I mean,
IPAs.
there's, what would there be? Like an oily texture to it almost.
I believe they call that resiny.
I couldn't remember the term. I'm sorry. I've had very little sleep the last few days. My buddy bought a chunk of property. First chunk he's building his first built house on.
Well, that's
So we went and celebrated with a power hour of cheap, shitty beer and vodka because I'm dumb. And we did the power hour for an hour and a half. And every 5 shots of beer, I did a shot of vodka. That was a long night. Last night was my buddy's surprise birthday party, so that was fun.
I think it'd be a really short night for me. Like once you start bringing out vodka, I'd rather drink rubbing alcohol. Same equivalent.
It probably would have been better. Yeah.
Except for the kidney failure. That probably wouldn't
We
have
were
been
quite
great.
literally, though, almost in the middle of just a vacant field right now that he brush hogged. We dragged the grill out. We used cars to block the wind, and then we got a big ripping fire going. It was great.
And
It was
that's
a fun night.
pretty much every high school party when you grow up in the rural area like we're in. It's like,
What's wrong with that?
I certainly wasn't saying
That's some
it
of
as
the
a
best
negative
times.
critique.
Yeah.
But it's funny. We started off having a glass of creamsicle.
I like this.
From
This is good.
Starr Craft here to wet our whistle. And every time I drink this beer, I feel like I keep tasting the tangerine from the last one.
I mean, you get that. You do get kind of citrusy notes from
Yeah,
IPAs.
I'm trying to figure
It's
out-
like mango and pineapple.
Yeah, I'm trying to
That's
figure out
what
if
I'm
it's
tasting
coming
in there.
from this or if it's from the last beer I drank, because it definitely does have kind of that citrusy.
I'm getting Belgian notes in the nose, though.
Well, it is a Belgian style IPA, so you were correct.
I missed that.
It doesn't say it on the box.
Oh, well, alrighty then.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not getting a lot of those typical Belgian style characteristics up from it though. That
In
you
the
normally get
taste,
with
no,
the
it's
yeast.
in the nose, though. Yeah.
I don't hate it after.
Me neither. No, that's good.
20 years, it's
Yeah.
still good.
I like it. It is
I remember at
very
the time
nice.
though thinking and I drank it straight out of the bottle too, because I obviously didn't know any better, being your first craft beer, and I just remember thinking, I'm like, this is fucking awful. It's so bitter. This is gross.
I did that with Two Hearted. So that when the first homebrew.
Yeah, America's best beer
Craft-
2 years in a row.
Yeah. But keep in mind, my first craft beer was a penetrating porter. I had never had anything heavier than a Budweiser at the time. Blasphemy, I know. And I thought, I'm going to get some fancy shit to go to this party.
We have
So
to
I
come
got
up with a
Two-Hearted.
different name for Budweiser. We can't keep saying that.
Free advertising.
So
Urinal drainage? No, so we I
beer
brought
that shall
that
not be
there,
named.
and I threw it in the cooler, and I'm trying all this other stuff that everybody has there, and it comes to me like, well, what'd you bring? Oh, I brought Two Hearted Ale. Oh, that's a good beer. That's good. Yeah. So I crack it open, like, it's fucking disgusting. What the hell is this crap? And it's like, looking back now, it's like, no, it's pretty good now.
When I first started going out to Colorado years ago, we'd go out for the Cannabis Cup, and we'd go to a lot of local breweries and everything, and the people would always ask us, "Oh, where you from? Where you from?" Most of us were wearing Red Wings gear, so they figured it out pretty quick. Like, "Oh, did you bring any of that Bell's beer with you?" Like, "Oh, did you get any Two Hearted?" And
Nice.
people were willing to trade their sister for a bottle of Two Hearted. I mean,
Really?
Now they distribute it out there, so now they've got it. But
Damn, I thought I had it in.
yeah. Yeah, but it was pretty wild. Every time we'd go, "Oh, you bring any Bells with you? Oh, you got any of that Two Hearted?" And it just seems so weird that everyone was so excited about it, and it's like, "Oh, bro, we were drinking that when we were, not old
funny.
enough to drink."
Nice.
But yeah, just common Michigan beer. But I don't understand why it, won best beer so many times. I mean, it's a good beer.
There was nothing else.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I like it.
funny,
But I can't have too many of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I like some of my favorite IPAs are when you get into the citrus bomb stuff.
I like citrus a lot.
Yeah, just you take a sip of that, or you take it like, whew, this is gonna burn. But I love it.
a lot of the people that that I brew with are always like talking shit about like Citra hops. Like, oh, they're overused. They're in every single beer, and like now I think we've got now I think we've got just so many options for IPAs that people have started experimenting with different hops that it's not everything is a Citra beer. Now when you actually see it, you're like oh, it's got Citra hops in it. I remember those. I love those.
Should be probably interesting in a few years to see the BJCP category start to change as things keep evolving with that. I haven't updated that app in a while. I wonder what has changed in a bit.
No, it's like the Reinheitsgebot, the German beer purity laws.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
They just changed something on that, didn't they?
well, I know. I can't remember when it was, but when they had to change it to add yeast to it because they didn't know yeast was like the magic that made beer happen. All right, so what else?
What the hell is that?
What else did we know about this beer, Darrell? What else did the great AI tell us?
Oh, I'm way past that now.
Yeah, we moved past the flying bitch. We were still drinking it.
It is good. Well, I was looking up because we were talking about Two Hearted, #1 beer sold in Michigan. Which one is that? The Two Hearted.
Nice.
The other top ones, though. So Bell's is #1. Founders is #2. Guess what beer that one is?
I'm going to go with KBS.
All Day IPA.
Or
All
Dirty
Day
Dutch.
IPA. There you
I
go.
forgot about that.
So
Yeah.
top 2 IPAs. Third one is from New Holland Brewing. Which one do you think that one is?
Oh,
I'm going to say it's an IPA.
It's not IPA this
Oh,
time.
damn it.
New Holland. Is it the Poet?
No, not the Poet. It's
I can't remember. Oatmeal Stout.
Dragon.
Oh, Dragon's
Dragon's
Milk?
Milk?
Dragon's
Oh,
Milk. Yep.
yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, I saw billboards for Dragon's Milk, so
Yeah, true.
And we do have a Dragon's Milk
Ooh.
special over
I
there,
forgot
too.
about that.
Oh well.
We got a whole pile of stuff.
We'll have to break into that here.
I mean, I can finish this beer. I can
Number
break-
4, though.
We got
top 5
more
though, so
bottles, man.
Number 4 is by Shorts Brewing.
Ooh.
Soft Parade. Is
Soft
biggest.
Parade,
Yeah,
very
I got one.
Do you remember when it used to be like 9-something% and now they brought it down to like
Vaguely.
7-something?
Aw.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. no.
The only Hard Rock Cafe in Michigan used to be in the building I worked in Detroit. And so we'd go down there and we got half off beers because we worked in the building.
shit,
And you could
nice.
get a pint of 9.6% soft fruit or whatever for $3.
Nice.
And I remember one time it was a guy's birthday and we went down there for lunch and he had 6 of them and went back to work.
Whoa. Nice.
Well, he was there with our VP who also had 6 of them and went back to work. So it's like, well,
So
hey,
the big boss is? I mean, I guess
It
that's
says
okay.
it says soft in the word, so it's
yeah. If my boss's boss is buying me drinks, then I'm going to
I
say,
mean,
you know,
yeah, that would be insubordinate to not, have those beers with him.
damn right.
Yeah.
He was that kind of guy though that he would always be buying your beers because he was nice. But it didn't matter how fast you drink. If you had 1, he had 2. That man was an absolute tank of a man when it came
I
to drinking
attended
beer.
a job interview that way once, and I didn't know it was an interview. I thought my buddy was just inviting me to have drinks with he and his work friend. Come to find out it was his boss. And the entirety of us sitting there was him buying rounds of shots and beers for us and me keeping up. I mean, you guys have seen me drink. So I kept up. The boss didn't
Yes.
know that. He was looking for somebody who can keep up with his work ethic. So I'm sitting there and I'm just slinging them. And he goes, so what do you think? I'm like, about what? He says, working for me. I'm like, huh? He says, oh, this was a job interview. Didn't we tell you that? I'm like, nope. Nope. And then we were supposed to talk the next day about details of the job, and I didn't. At the time, I liked where I was. I didn't want to leave.
I'll say it must not have been a very good job then.
Oh, it was, and I was really stupid for not doing that. Bye.
All right, you steel-toed stalwart. This one's for you, the construction worker who's handled more wood than a lumberjack in a forest. You're out there laying the foundations of the world, turning blueprints into buildings while life tries to bulldoze your buzz. So grab that frosty pint of architectural ale, chug it down like it's the last nail in your project, and face the day with the audacity of a construction worker who's fresh out of fucks to give. You've got grit, grind, and the most robust brew within arm's reach. Here's to you, the hard hat hero turning life's rubble into remarkable edifices. Now let's get back to it and hammer this day into submission. The only beams we want to see are the ones supporting our favorite tavern. So, bottoms up, you scaffold savant. Let's show this day how we build our way to the top.
We had a guest in the office today.
Yes,
or in the
that's right.
studio. In the studio.
Yeah, our
Who's
first
not leaving?
first ever guest, actually.
Mostly because we couldn't get rid of her sooner.
Yeah. Hey, man, I married her. Trust me. You know, we can't get rid of her too fast. She'll take half my shit.
Don't you have like a time frame on that? So the sooner you do it, the better off you are?
I guess that's true. Maybe I'll have to talk to the lawyers on that one. I don't know. After
If you do that, she's just going to kill you. We won't see you anymore anyways. So.
that's, I had a good run, honestly. Like,
But then we're gonna have to find a new host. And we're gonna have to change all the graphics. So no, we can just prop him up. We can use AI
Cardboard
generated Jim from past episodes.
Oh, that's perfect. Speaking of, I heard someone had posted this in a Discord I'm part of. They posted this. It was a song. It's Big Iron on His Hip. You know the song, like I'm drawing
like
a
an old
blank on his
country
name.
western
He has a
song.
big iron on his hip. Well, anyway, like they
That's not
posted
Johnny.
it.
Is that Johnny Cash?
No, it was.
You're asking the wrong person. I don't know.
Shit. It's
I'm
on
a-
the tip of my tongue. It doesn't matter. Either
No,
way,
it does. I gotta look at him now.
like
damn it.
someone posted it. There was this like I guess you'd say content creator. His name's Charlie that I'm familiar with, and it was him singing it, and I was like, oh, he does a really good job at this. And then someone's like, yeah, it's AI, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? This is AI singing this song? I swore it was
It's
him.
Marty Robbins,
That's
Big
it.
Iron.
Marty Robbins. I've thought about doing that one at karaoke a couple of times, actually.
Nice.
I think that'd be a fun one. But yeah, it blew my mind, like, because I'd not heard any, like, deep fakes or anything before. And so this was kind of like the first one I had heard. And I was
There's all
thoroughly
kinds of-
convinced.
Well, it's on social media. You'll see a lot of them. They'll get like
You know
Johnny
I don't do
Cash
social
singing like a
media.
Britney Spears or Lady Gaga song or something.
So we're going to set up one of our podcasts to be ran directly by AI and see if anyone can tell.
Yeah.
That'd
I
be
bet it'd be-
interesting.
I bet given the limited amount of episodes that we have access to, that would be really wonky. Like the AI would
It
have
could
a
be
really
fun, though.
Yeah. It would probably
Would you just have to
be...
post it with the title, well, we took the week off, but here's this week's episode, and just don't say anything else.
The AI would be like, today we're having beer with beer. What do you think of beer, Darrell? I drink beer.
Oh, it's going to turn into a Psycho Stick song. Beer is good. Beer is good.
And stuff. It are go good with pizza.
I love that song.
When I throw up on the floor, I can go and drink some more. Let's go drink some beer.
We should probably stop or we're going to get hit with copyright
Yeah,
infringement
right.
or something.
No more Psycho Stick.
Oh, that was an actual song?
Yeah.
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 Dead serious.
I distinctly remember it because like when I first heard it, it was like the Flash animation days of the internet,
Yeah.
before YouTube, before like,
Yep.
the high-speed internet was kind of like the standard, so there wasn't a lot of video streaming services
Yeah.
or any at all. And I remember like going to like Newgrounds and watching like the Flash animation video of
Yeah.
that, that specifically.
Nice.
There was, God,
It's
those
okay. You can make noise
Those were
with
good
it.
days.
There,
Ooh,
yeah.
that was a nice one. Second beer's the charm. I was gonna say, do we want to keep drinking this, or do we want to try another bottle too? I mean, we've
I'm
got
going to do a little
options.
more of this one.
Yeah,
This is pretty good.
I'm down. I like this beer.
It is very tasty. It is very good beer.
I was
I don't know why I went with an accent, but I do that from time to time.
out mowing my lawn and doing leaves. I think it was actually last season,
See if we can get the good
and
long
I sat down to take a break. My neighbor was mowing his lawn. Ooh, that sounds good. The second beer definitely sounded better than the first one. It's gonna taste better too.
Beer is what's for dinner.
Yeah, that's got some good head on it.
That's
right
that's
there.
what was for dinner last night at the comedy show was beer. So anyway, my neighbor was out mowing his lawn too, and I was like, well, I'm gonna sit down in the middle of my yard. I got this big rock, and I'm drinking a PBR, and I kind of shake the can at him, and he's like, oh, he stops mowing and comes over. He's like, yeah, I can have a beer, and we drink the 6 beers that I had, like 3 each, not 6 apiece, and he's like, oh well. He's like, we're kind of low on beer. He's like, I got some beer in the fridge. Let me go grab it. And he comes back, and he's like, I got these 2 bottles. And one of them was a raging bitch. And I was like, oh. He's like, I didn't really like this. And I'm like, well, I'll take it. I'm like,
I'll tell you what, I will do you a favor.
Yeah. Well, so one thing led to another. And then his wife comes out, and, she likes
Then y'all
she
were in
likes beer,
trouble.
too. And she's like, are you going to finish the yard work? Or, and so we end up deciding, like, hey, we want to have some more beers. Like, we've already kind of primed the pump. And he's like, well, I'll finish it up and then I'll go to the store. And I'm like, well, I need to go get gas for my mower anyway. I said, so I'll run up there and grab us some beer. and they are drinkers of the beer that shall not be named. And so
I like it. We'll just go with that.
I picked up a case for them and came back, and we must have like 15 or 16 beers, and the yard work did not get finished at all.
Sounds like Friday night.
Yeah. Well, I remember he had never had Jameson before, and his wife went to go pick up pizza, and I'm like, "You want a shot of Jameson?" And he's like, "I've never had that before." And I'm like, "I got a bottle in my car. My disc golf bag always has a bottle of whiskey in it.
Nice.
So it's my bag whiskey." And I'm like, "Here." And you take a pull out of the bottle, and 20 minutes later, he kind of disappeared, and I was sitting there with his wife, and we sat on the porch and drank beer till 3 a.m, and we have no idea where good old Jay went. He had been gone for 3 hours.
Since then, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's fine. But she kept saying, "Well, let's just have one more. We can just have one more. We can just have one more." And I'm like, "I'm not going to turn you down. Let's keep going."
Yeah, I think we between my buddy and I, we killed, I think we were 2 beers shy of an entire case of Blue Light.
That gives me a headache. I don't know what it is about that stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what we started the power hour with, was that. And then,
Whenever you start off with something called light, you're off in the wrong direction already.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not. I mean, I enjoy that one too over the other stuff he likes to drink that shall not be named.
Yeah, I mean, but
So it's the better
not
alternative.
it's not like you're doing a shot of Dark Lord every minute.
I would totally
do that.
do that. I would 100%.
Hell
yeah.
no, I'd be throwing up after 15
Where?
minutes.
What?
From now on, though, any beer that's not a craft beer should be a beer that shall not be named.
I mean, no, there's some good ones out there though.
I will always and forever stand by my good old Pabst Blue Ribbon. I'm fine with that. I will die on that hill.
I do like that. That's good stuff. Yeah.
I'm a filthy hipster, so I mean it's
I mean,
No
you got
argument.
the hair and the beard gone for it.
exactly. I'm well aware.
He's gonna show up in flannels and suspenders tomorrow. Next time we see him.
It's every birthday and Christmas somebody gets me flannels. It's just it's the way it goes, which is fine. I like flannel.
I think I own 2, and I wear it as an overshirt.
It's a good thing you didn't wear flannels last night to the comedy show.
I know that
You
was
would have been picked on. Half the people had flannel on.
that was apparently a trigger moment. He really ripped into everyone wearing flannel. The one lady wearing 2 different flannels, and
Nice.
But country mystique, man. Flannel's the way to go.
So for a little context, last night at the brewery, we had comedy and an art show.
Well, keep in mind when this airs, this is going to be like last night, but like a month ago.
Yeah, but this is so a long time ago.
Hour in a galaxy far away.
Fair enough. So we had a comedian Chillian Thomas, and the other gentleman, Dave.
You couldn't have warmed it up for him a
Yeah,
little bit?
Something.
I only remember Dave. I don't know.
It's just chilly.
No. Well, Chillian might be joining us on the next podcast here.
Ah, excellent.
So we'll see if he makes it. He is in town. He lives in New York.
He's a little bit hungover, to say the least.
We heard him last night for sure. He was drinking the SOB, and he doesn't drink
man.
beer.
Oh, he got fucked up.
He doesn't even remember doing his own show.
Oh, wow.
Well, he said a couple of
Nice.
times, especially near the end of his set, he's like,
I gotta
I'm
wrap
too
this up."
drunk.
Yeah.
He tried to wrap it up 4 different times and got distracted.
Hey, best way to get over it, hair of the dog.
The hair of the raging bitch. Yeah.
We'll see if he makes it in here.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
But either way, last night was an amazing show. Lots of fun. The art gallery we had with Janelle
some
was
cool
really
stuff.
good.
Incredible art.
That
yeah.
fish one's pretty cool, too.
Fish tits.
Yeah, it's a fish. If you've ever seen the movie, what is it, The Incredible Mr. Limpet? The Don Knotts plays a fish, an animated fish.
Huh.
It reminds me of that, but it's got big old tits on it. So it's
They're perky too.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to go into that level of
if
description.
you're gonna paint
I was just
a
gonna say, the
fish
fish is
with
cool.
boobs, you might as well make them nice boobs. I mean, I'm just
I
saying.
mean, it makes sense.
I'm
It's
now,
art. You want people to look at it.
Now I've got this image
Or
in my head
stare.
of fish that feed their young like mammals do, this little fish coming up and just dip 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 dip.
It's disturbingly exciting.
So why is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I hope this
I'm not
doesn't
gonna finish
awaken
that train
anything
of
in
thought.
me.
Never mind.
Yeah, her art is beautiful though.
Oh yeah.
And Janelle, or Joni, as I've always known her, I've known her for what we figure actually it's 17 years. I
Nice.
met her we worked together at a Best Buy years
Nice.
ago, and then, like, you know, we became good friends, and we hadn't seen each other in a while. And I remember when she walked into the brewery one night when I was here drinking, and I looked and I'm like, that looks like Joni, because she hasn't aged a day in 17 years.
Yeah.
So and it was kind of crazy to run into each other. And she's like, I live right down the road. I'm like, no shit. What a small world.
Nice.
Well, she's great, though. She's a wonderful person, and her art's fantastic, and just
Oh, yeah. that's
always
great.
has a, you know, smile on her face.
Now,
and
is
I
all
appreciate.
that stuff for sale, or that was just kind of out for displays? and
All
stuff?
of that's for sale. She has
No.
prices up there. We are going to do another one, a honey art and comedy night
Yes.
called The Craft. I guess it's going to be in February. We're talking about it now.
Yeah, I was talking with Chillian
Nice.
about that last night, but, you know, again,
We'll have to remind them today.
yeah, I was going to say, how many, depends on how many memories he has from last night.
So
That was the peak of the night.
Is this art going to stay up for a while, or is she going to come take it down?
No, she was feeling really good last night, so she just left it
yeah.
up.
So does she have this available for somewhere that we can plug her artwork for them to buy?
She doesn't have a site
For
yet.
like all 4 of our listeners?
I think she's got the Instagram handle on that sign. We'll have to
We
have to remember to
4
grab that.
listeners. I think I saw 100 listeners last time.
Well, that's total downloads.
Saw 100 people. It was listened to 100 times at least.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Darrell.
Different IP addresses.
Yeah,
IP spoofer.
I can-
It's easier.
I can guarantee
Automate
you
a batch
that
file.
I guarantee you that none of those listeners were my wife. This was her being
My
here
wife.
today was basically a favor to me. Like I remember talking to her last night in my less than sober state, and I'm like, you know, I said, you don't have to listen. I know it's not your cup of tea. She doesn't drink beer, and I'm like, so there's really nothing there for you. I said, other than, you know, wanting to support your husband. I was like, who
you
wants
pulled
to
that
do
card.
that? Like, who wants to do that? You know.
Well, my wife will support me, but she won't listen to it as of right now. So if it
Oh, so
keeps,
you can tell
if
all the good
If it
stories
keeps going
right
this
now.
direction, I'm going to start telling stories.
Don't threaten us with that good of a time.
No, it's
I've
just
got a
fine.
couple really funny ones I'll have to tell you guys when we're not recording. They're not my stories, or I would totally tell them. 'Cause
No,
they're
well.
fucking great.
Well, we'll see. We'll see once the Imperials start flowing how that turns out.
Oh, I definitely we'd be canceled if I told them on the mic.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, I did eat breakfast today like a smart man, but this beer is giving me a little glow. I'm starting to feel a little like warm in the cheek. I kind of like that.
I had a sausage, egg and cheese croissant, and a zebra cake, and an energy drink. That was breakfast.
I haven't had that sounds like the most American meal I've ever fucking heard. But
I don't smoke, but if you added a smoke to that, I'd think, oh, it's a mechanic's breakfast.
Yeah,
So this is going to sound weird to anyone listening, but this morning I ate some of Jim's nuts.
and not mine.
And I knew what you meant, and I still almost spit that out.
We've got a local artisan, you could call her. She's a fantastic baker and creator of delicious delicacies, and her husband, named Jim.
Yeah.
He is allowed to help make the spicy seasoned herb nuts. They're like roasted nuts. And,
Cashews.
Yeah.
and they're called Jim's Nuts. And the name is cheeky and fun, but I'll tell you what, those are some
Those
delicious
are some
nuts.
tasty nuts, man.
Yeah,
So I had Jim's nuts in my mouth this morning.
I'll
I mean,
never,
hey, whatever
I'll
floats
never
your
turn
boat.
down Jim's Nuts, honestly. Shout out to Lois for that one.
And if you're ever in the brewery on a Thursday, you'll have a chance of seeing her
Yep, she'll
and
be
Jim, and you'll be able to buy them.
Yep. And I gotta say one
Way
thing.
to pimp out the customers there, Darrell.
There you go.
I gotta say one thing about Jim is
Can we call him Pimp Daddy now?
let's not.
Okay.
Because
Oh,
like
damn
that feels
it. I was going to get my white hat and feather.
So anyway, I'll say one thing about Jim. Darrell and I both love spicy. Like, you know, we like heat. But Jim, that man, like watching him
Doesn't
like
phase him when he eats
at
something.
all. At all. Like I remember when all of us were doing that one chip challenge, like it was hot.
We
you
almost
know?
killed that one guy that was here, by the way.
That was funny as
I
hell.
thought he was dead.
'Cause
Whoa.
It was me
Damn, I
and,
missed a
and
good
Jim
time.
and him, and it was funny to see the reaction because he, the other dude, was like hallucinating, you know, like because capsaicin causes
These were
adrenaline.
spicy nuts. Or spicy
Oh,
shit.
they were hot
This was
shit.
the chip.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one chip challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you eat something spicy, like your body reacts like you literally caught it on fire.
I've
and
never
so
experienced that.
it's rushing so much
I mean, the next
adrenaline to your
morning
brain.
I have, but
I took him outside, and he's like, "The sky's purple." He's like, "The leaves are like flickering," and I'm like,
Damn,
"Bro,
this sounds
I
like a
wish."
good chip.
I was like, "I wish I was on your level, bro."
Damn.
But it was interesting because he was losing his shit, I was experiencing the heat and it was hot and uncomfortable.
You were sweating and shaking a little bit.
Yeah, but
See, I
Jim,
never-
like nothing. So it was like the.
He just sat there looking at everyone like they were stupid.
Yeah, it was almost like we had 3 different chips. It was like homeboy had hot chip, I had spicy chip, and Jim
So-
had Dorito. You know,
There was a version of those a while back. It comes with like 5 of them, and only one is the spicy one.
oh, it was like chip roulette.
Yeah, I think that it was called.
See, I would
like,
just eat all 5 of them because I want the spicy one.
Just opens them all, puts them in a bowl. Who the fuck put these Doritos individually packaged? This is bullshit.
My sense of spice is obviously fucked up, you know, and I think Darrell can attest his is as well. You know, when someone's like, "Is it spicy?" and I'm like, "Not to me."
Mine used to be.
But that chip, it was spicy, which I enjoyed, but it was so fucking dry.
Yep.
It was like chewing
like
like
shit.
burnt IKEA furniture. Like
That's
it was
disappointing.
awful.
I was at a wedding a couple years ago, and all the groomsmen did the 1 chip challenge. That was hilarious. I
would be
recorded
funny.
the entire thing, and there's the one. The guy at a wedding who's always kind of out there and more loud and vocal, and he hit that chip, and he's like, "Oh," and he's taking his tie off and starts unbuttoning his shirt, and you could see just his entire face and everything getting beat red. I start tearing up. It's great.
Yeah, that'd be fun if I had an actual wedding. I think that'd be fun to do.
I do have a hot sauce here that you made,
That's true.
and it is hot. I don't even know what Scoville units it is or.
A lot. It's well.
This one of the
it's-
honey-based ones.
No, this one
not
is just
honey.
It's pure apocalypse scorpion peppers.
Ew.
Blended with a little bit of cider vinegar.
Yeah,
Just
fuck
enough
you.
cider vinegar to make it acidic.
I'm good.
It's fucking death, is what it is.
Yeah,
I'll believe it.
I
It hurts.
brought it in to have Darrell try because when I tried it, like when I made it.
And I'm halfway through the bottle, by the way.
Oh yeah. I've gone through about the same for me because like when I tried it, like I just take a little spoon and dip it in there and just lick it, and it was so hot. I was like, I can't tell if this is good.
So you're licking your own sauce off a spoon?
Yeah, goddamn right. So then I immediately brought it into Darrell. I said, listen, this is so hot, I can't tell if it's good. I need another opinion. And
Nice.
he also ate it off a spoon, and I mean, within a couple of minutes, he was red and sweating.
Nice.
But once you had it on stuff, like then I just started eating it on popcorn, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, the first taste, I couldn't taste nothing but heat.
Yep.
By the 4th or 5th, I could actually taste the flavor in it.
Yeah.
That was your dead taste buds
So,
just
maybe
giving
going.
away.
Like that's what I use. I use that hot sauce now in my Hell Honey. So that was I used to use just the fresh peppers, but
Yeah.
now that the season's over, I've blended them up and preserved them, and in what is it like 14 cups of honey and vinegar, I use 1/8 cup of pepper mash. So that's enough to spice up 14 bottles of my hot honey and make it spicy.
Well, in terms of bringing it to an end,
If you didn't learn anything today, at least remember this. Beer is the answer that makes everything better.
Can't remember the question, but who cares when you have a cold one in your hand?
remember everybody, drink responsibly, drink high gravity.
Most importantly, drink well.
Okay, not the well. Life's too short for bad beer.
Stay frothy, my friends.